Hello everybody. In this video, I wanted to discuss a certain topic that I saw on Reddit. There's this post that says, "Just can't treat myself. Why?" Does anyone else ever experience this? I am incapable of ever treating myself. Everything I make tends to go towards taking care of my family, both in immediate needs and for the children's college funds and their brokerage accounts. I rarely ever get anything nice for myself. I just can't pull the trigger. Does anyone else ever experience this inability? I can't take all of this to the grave. I should treat myself once in a while, right? So, me personally, not treating myself doesn't really have anything to do with not being able to take it to the grave. I mean, I'm not, saving money and investing it just so I could take it to the afterlife. It's useful now while I'm still alive. So regardless of whether, this person says I can't take this to the grave, that's not the purpose of saving your money and not treating yourself all the time. Well, for me anyways, I do it because I can make use of that money now, right? It affects my life now. So saving money and having a bunch of money, in my account and a bunch of money to use, it gives me peace of mind because if anything were to come up, if anything were to happen, like an emergency that I need to pay for right away, it gives me peace of mind that I do have money to pay for it. Whereas if I was always, buying stuff for myself and treating myself, getting, Labubus or new washing machines or new refrigerators, whatever, if I'm just buying new things for myself all the time, I wouldn't have the money that I have to give me that peace of mind if anything were to happen. So that's the way that I look at it. It's not really so that I could take all the money to my grave, but to make use of it now while I'm still alive, because it does affect that. Now, unlike this person here, this person says they have, children where they have to save for their college funds and their brokerage accounts. I would say that's a really good reason to, not treat yourself and to put money towards your children's future. I don't personally have children myself, but I don't think that's a bad use of your money. Not treating yourself and putting your money towards your children rather than treating yourself all the time. I don't think it's really an ability. I think that's just good decision making. But that's the way I look at it. Now, let's look at some other replies. It's incredibly difficult for those of us that spend their entire life living a certain way to change it. You're not alone. So, I have been living this way where I don't really spend a lot of money on anything really for a while. So, I've lived a life, I grew up in poverty. I've lived a life where I'm used to not spending that much anyways. What I've been doing lately actually is I've been trying to save money on food by eating just really cheap meals. So when I'm eating at home, for example, lately my meals have been eating bread, salad, and some kind of protein or even a protein shake. And that's a pretty cheap meal for home. And then whenever I go out, I also try to look for deals when I go out to eat too. Like there's something I want to talk about actually is the habit. So the habit, I think this doesn't exist everywhere, but I live in California, so the habit is sort of a direct competitor to In-N-Out, which is also a very popular burger chain in California. So they launched a $6, $8, and $10 meal deal. And in the picture here, obviously they're comparing themselves to In-N-Out. And they're saying that their burger, their Santa Barbara char, their half burger, outweighs the full burger from the competitor. So you're getting a lot of food for what you pay for, and the meals are pretty cheap. So for example, the $6 meal deal, this gets you a half barbecue grilled chicken with chicken breast, barbecue sauce, melted cheese, shredded lettuce, tomato, and mayo on grilled sourdough. So it's a grilled chicken sandwich, and it comes with a side and a drink. And And then the $8 meal deal, that's a half chicken club. This has grilled chicken, bacon, avocado, lettuce, tomato, mayo on grilled sourdough. Again, with a side. Usually I get the fried tempura green beans, and then they give you a drink. So it's a great deal. I would say it's very surprising to me, because usually for burger places I go to like In-N-Out, and I consider In-N-Out to be cheap, or relatively cheap for what it is. But even now, the Habit is really fighting back and introducing their own cheap meals, which I have been getting when I go out. I've mostly been going to the Habit and getting their meal deals. You can get a full meal, a side, and a drink for less than $10. So it's a really good deal that's local to my area. So, whenever I go out, I try to find deals that will help me save some money, or things that are cheap. Usually when I go out for food, I just eat really cheap food, or get coupons, or take advantage of some deal, Here's another comment that says, yep, all the time. I'd recommend doing things with other people. It's hard to be a cheap person when others are around. If it's just me living my life, I'll buy a rubber band and one used toothpick to live the rest of the year on. Agreed. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about, right? If I'm by myself, I try to be as cheap as possible when it's just me. However, if I'm going out with other people, in contrast, usually we would go to some place that's more expensive than how much I would usually spend. So for example, I went out to celebrate someone's birthday recently, and we went out to a restaurant that would be much more expensive than what I would usually spend than if I were just eating alone by myself. So that's just an example, but yeah, I find myself not really treating myself that often, not because I can't help myself, but because it's a decision that I make for myself. And, I want to be able to put myself in a situation where I have a lot of money saved up, so that if anything were to happen, I have that ease of mind, and I find enjoyment in that. Now, a lot of people, they treat themselves and spend money on, luxury goods because it's something that they enjoy, which I still do from time to time. I mean, I still spend money to go out to events and things like that. But in terms of a lot of material goods that I collect, not really. I don't really treat myself in that way very often. And even when it comes to food and eating out, I tend to be avoiding treating myself out to like expensive meals. Unless I'm with other people, then I find myself spending more money than I usually would than if I would just by myself. So that's my opinion. That's my take on this. I just wanted to make this video to discuss this topic with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys do like this type of content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll keep on making more of these videos once in a while. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.